What's up, you guys? It's your girl Tika Tikah back at you today with another mukbang. Today I thought it would be nice to just make copious amounts of bacon and an omelet and sauteed mushrooms. So I don't know if you can see that. I made an omelet. It's got, I think, 5 eggs with just lots of cheese. Lots of my crispy bacon, like I love it so much. And then there's also sauteed mushrooms right here, which honestly, I love mushrooms. So I thought I'd just kind of go at this and just eat breakfast, I guess, you know? It's a little bit more towards lunchtime. It's 10 o'clock and I'm eating kind of early for myself. So I just got back after a long weekend of travels for kids' sports. We go to other towns for sports. And usually we have to drive anywhere from 5 to 6 hours away for like hockey. Yeah. So that's what happens when you live remote though. But let's get into this because I'm super hungry and it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you guys. I don't know what you have planned, but when my hubby gets home, I've got lots planned for him. It's gonna sound crazy, but I have not had an omelet in 2 years. At least 2 years. Yeah. I forgot how good it is. I was gonna mix some mushrooms inside, but I kind of like the mushrooms just like by itself, you know? This omelet, all it's got, let's see if I can show it to you without spilling everywhere, it's so hot still, is cheese and eggs just mixed in with garlic. I almost got myself. Yeah, it was a long weekend away and I'm so happy to be home. As much as I love being there for my kids' sports, it takes a lot out of you driving that long and then being up at certain times, going to bed at certain times. It's just tough. This is so good. I like my bacon just like ridiculously crispy. Like if you want to know how to cook crispy bacon, cook your bacon good, but make sure you drain it on a paper towel or use a strainer to drain it. That way all the oils get off of it, so it's not so greasy. Bacon is so good. I'm gonna pick myself up some coffee. I love me some coffee. So I thought today that I would talk to you guys about some things you might not know about me. I am a sensitive. That means that for me personally, the way I help people is people contact me, I'll go into their homes and help them out with whatever issues that they might have, whether it's good or bad. I'm also an empath. So I meet people and it is almost impossible for me not to read them as soon as I look at them. I never judge anybody, but it's hard for me not to read whatever pains they're going through and stresses they're going through in life. It is my belief, which I respect your beliefs, it is my belief that everybody is born with gifts. It's a matter if you've chosen to use them or to learn about them or to try to sit there and explore with them. And so many people have experiences where they think they're going crazy and they're not. It's your gifts. They're trying to come out of you, you know? I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you're sitting there in your house and all of a sudden you feel like something just went past the corner of your eye. Okay? This happens to so many people. but they chuck it off as, oh, it's probably this or it's probably that. And it could be that car that's driving past, but I'm talking about you're in that room where the car's not going past. Outside, the windows aren't, the blinds aren't wide open, and you see that shadow coming next to you or running past you. If that's your senses kicking in saying, hey, there's a spirit present. There's another way to tell. If your arms, we're very animalistic in a lot of ways, but if you're in a room or wherever you are, and all of a sudden it's not cold in there, but the hair raises on your arms, that's your body's spiritual senses to be like, hey, something else is here. Like, for instance, if someone's watching you from behind you or from the side of you, you can tell when they're looking at you just by the way that you can feel their energy looking at you. It's the same thing with spirits. So, I thought I would tell you guys about my first spiritual experience that I can remember. My mom has told me that before that memory, I had a lot of experiences as a child. But I'll share the first one that I can remember. So, I grew up with a single mom. Did the very best that she could to take care of her 3 kids. And at some point, we finally were able to settle down. We had a house that we could continue to grow in through middle school and high school. And while that was great, this house was haunted as fudge, okay? There was always stuff happening in this house. And my brain at the time, I felt comfortable with it. And I know that seems like crazy. How could this person go into this room and feel comfortable? I don't know. I just do. Even as an adult, I can go into any location and feel comfortable. Even if someone's like, somebody's passed away in the room, I'm like, okay, like, what's the problem? Some people might run from that. But the first particular time that I can recall really seeing like a spirit, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel like stressed or anxiety or anything. I just was like, oh, you know what I mean? What is this? So my sister and I always used to fight, like every siblings do. And one day, I didn't know, I ended up falling asleep early. I was super, super tuckered and tired. I think I was about in the 4th or 5th grade. I went to sleep and I woke up to my feet and legs being like pulled and touched, okay? I would just like kind of like kick it away. I remember just trying to kick it away, get the blankets over me, but then I heard like a giggle. Oh my God. At that time, I thought it was my sister messing with me. I was like, quit touching my feet, go away, go away. I was able to go back to bed and fall asleep. And then, I don't even know how much longer later, I woke up again to someone pulling and touching at my feet. And I was freaked out a little bit because I was like, 1, it's dark in my room. It's dark as heck where I live. Okay? 2, why would all of a sudden my sister want to kind of like start touching my feet randomly when she's never done that before, right? Still though, I really thought it was her. And so finally, after probably like the 4th or 5th time my feet kept getting touched, I looked down. Gives me chills still. Even though I deal with spirits now, it gives me chills still. Because the thing is, when you first see your first spirit that you can actually really just fully see and it's manifested in front of you. Like the hair on my arms are even up right now. Like honestly, see your first spirit. You literally, it's imprinted in your mind. And any sensitive that you talk to will always tell you that, hey, guess what? It is forever embedded in your mind and your spiritual form, this image. And so I looked down there's this little girl and her eyes are just staring at me between my 2 feet. And I flipped out in a very calm manner internally, okay? Because at that point, your heart's beating fast. You're scared. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what they're going to do to you. You don't know anything, right? I was young. I was scared. She stood up immediately from like the crouching position she was in between my feet. She stood up immediately, and I saw her. She was probably maybe about 11 or 12 years old. She had a white bow in her hair. Her hair was brown and had like ringlet curls in it. She was Caucasian. And she had a dress on that was white with blue flowers on it. And, you know, it had puffy shoulders right here. And to be honest, she was a beautiful girl. But she just looked at me and she smiled and dissipated. Okay, she dissipated right into air. And so I, myself, being young myself, I think I flew down the stairs. I don't even know how fast I was running. I ran straight to my mom's room and woke her up and told her about it. And my mom was freaked out a little bit because she's like, who wants to hear their kid come to them in the middle of the night saying that they see a spirit? And so my mom was freaked out and I slept in her room that night. But that, because of that, what I went through that day, that initial shock to my soul, I'm weird. I always have to sleep with my feet in the blankets now. No matter how many spirits I've dealt with as an adult and as I've gotten older, I have to sleep with my feet in my blankets. But, so yeah, over the course of still living at that house until I moved out, I had regular experiences with this particular girl. She never aged. She never did anything too crazy other than maybe move some things in the house on a regular basis. My mom would used to hate it so much. It got to the point where my mom was starting to see her as well. My brother could feel her. My sister could feel her. And I'm guessing they probably have their own experiences with her as well. Even all these years later, when we, my siblings and I got married to our spouses were scared to sleep there. They were up all night, like just wondering something bad was going to happen to them. And I'd have to reassure them nothing was. This is just her house. This is her property. I mean, this is sometimes what happens when you buy an old home. If you ever have any questions about spirits, you're more than free. You can freely write me online or put it in the comments and I'll answer anything you have. I've literally since that day worked up until this day trying to understand myself, but also trying to understand spirits and what their existence is and what's the purpose of everything. And I think I have it down pretty good. I've met a lot of people that have helped me along the way. You know, I've met a lot of other sensitives. This is so good. It's like really hitting the spot. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to answer or feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'm still kind of brain fogged today. Unfortunately, I'm just trying to figure out why I'm so tired all the time still. And I feel like I've got chronic laryngitis where I'm always straining to kind of talk. And, you know, I don't know. I get good sleep at night. Things like that. I don't know. I mean, if you know why, please let me know. Because, you know, all I can think of is it's maybe my thyroid that I mentioned in other videos. But it sucks, honestly, because usually I'm a lot more perky and a lot more excited to live with all the things and crazy things that I do. But lately I've been just kind of like super tuckered. A friend of mine put together a few questions that I could, you know, answer for you guys on camera about the other side. I've met probably well over 100 other sensitives. And it's crazy. When you get a bunch of sensitives in one location, the energy in there is crazy. It is absolutely bananas in there. So let's see. She's so funny. She says, are all spirits bad? How can you tell? Well, not all spirits are bad. To be honest with you, to actually come in contact with a bad spirit is probably, I would say, more on the rarer side. Depends on the location, depends on what type of spirit that is, if it's to what degree of negative of a spirit it is. If it's a person that hasn't completely crossed over because, you know, they're not happy with the way that they live their life and they're kind of scared, you know, I wouldn't classify that as a bad spirit. I'd classify that as a confused spirit. I've only dealt with seeing someone that's possessed twice in my life. And at that point, that family needed a lot of help. More than what I could give them. So I helped them get in contact with someone that could help them. But honestly, our family members that pass away, that we know who they are, those are good spirits. You know, a lot of times in your house, don't think you're crazy, okay? Everybody might be like, oh, you didn't see that, so you rationalize it. But if your family members passed away and you smell their cologne, they're there. They're checking in on you. They want to make sure you're okay. If you're wondering where your stuff is and then it magically appears, that's your family member saying, hey, I'm still here. You might not be able to see me or feel me because the frequency of my vibration is on such a higher level that you can't see me, but I'm still here. Our bodies are just a vessel for our souls. Our soul is an energy. Energy never dies. And we are able to, with this energy, when we cross over, be able to come to somebody in an instant as soon as they're thinking about you or asking about you. So if you're sad or you've just lost somebody or you're missing somebody that's crossed over, just know that their energy is real. They're still alive, just in a different vibration. So we live on this wavelength. There is crazy wavelength. It's fast. It moves at a faster rate. So a lot of times people can't see that, but there are people that are born with gifts that are able to see it. And if they can't see it, they can feel it. And sometimes if they can't feel it, they can hear it. You know? It's quite amazing. We're designed so beautifully to be able to connect with loved ones in a different way that we don't think is possible. I guess I really didn't answer her question, did I? How do you tell the difference? Well, I think it's the way that it makes you feel. If you feel like you're generally being targeted by spirit and you are feeling oppressed and stressed, your anxiety is higher, you keep questioning life and yourself, and you're not able to sleep at nighttime, and you feel plagued because you feel like something's attached itself to you, that would be a negative energy or negative entity that could attach itself to you. There's different degrees of how far the attachment can go. But, you know, just generally feeling oppressed and stuff, you have a negative attachment. If it's a good spirit, you don't feel that attachment. You might see them, feel them, hear them, but you'll feel either nothing or you'll feel kind of just a loving energy. And they'll come through as a different form as well, you know. A lot of times they'll appear to you just the way that you saw them last and before they passed, or they'll appear to you in a younger version of what they were, because that's when they were their happiest. What are my beliefs in reincarnation? That's a good one. And we'll talk about that till this video ends. To be honest, I do believe in reincarnation. I absolutely do. But I also think it's a choice. I don't think it's something that you have to do. I think that when we pass away, we collectively can see what our life is like. And if we've lived a good life and learned all the lessons that we've needed to learn in order for our soul's growth to be strong, you know, when it comes to everyday life, you should be kind. It's a given fact. Be kind. Be respectful. Be open-minded. Love and love hard. And you know what? Give love. You know? Some people just can't seem to do it. They treat people like crap, screaming and yelling at them, being rude, trying to hurt other people, stealing their crap, if you have not lived a good life and you're not happy and you've crossed over, you know, I do think you have a chance to redeem yourself. You can come back again. And, you know, as to whatever you want, you know, you can come back again, whatever time you want to come back. Because I think, for me, time is infinity. You know, the world's constantly recycling itself. But I believe someone can come back as many times as it takes their soul to learn its life lesson. So when they cross over to the other vibration, they are happy with themselves. They're happy with the life that they lived, and they felt like they got a good life. You know, if they didn't feel that way, I'm sure they can take as much time as they need on the other side and then come back. Look at this. It's so good still. But I'm stuffed. You know, what I want to say is, you are unique. You have your own gifts. Share them, research it, look into it, and realize that you are not crazy. I don't know how anybody on this earth thinks that as soon as you die, you're done. That's it. You know, but it also doesn't mean that you should live life in a way that you don't care because you're like, oh, I'll come back again. No, live your life to the fullest, because the way that you treat people impacts how their spiritual path grows. And so I just wanted to leave that thought with you guys today. I hope you have an amazing day. If you like this and everything I've talked about, please like and subscribe in the comment box, and I will talk to you later.